shit. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code, DC UPenn's finest, Chris Coacher, CB Coacher Boy. We have a great episode for you guys today. Of course, we are going to recap the NBA Finals. My Boston Celtics have hung banner 18, an NBA record 18 banners. If we get to it, we'll talk about the other team in LA that has something close to that. Maybe we'll talk about their head coaching vacancy, or maybe not vacancy. I don't know. We'll talk about
and
it.
There's soon to be small forward vacancy.
Soon. We'll see. We'll talk a little bit just about the headlines, man. But before we get into that, of course, I want to remind you, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on audio platforms, please leave a like, 5-star review. If you really enjoy the episode, please give us a download. We'd really appreciate it. Really no long talk. Let's get into Summits, Plummets. I'll swing it to Danny.
Take it.
No. I'm gonna keep my Summits and Plummets away from basketball because I'm gonna talk a lot. So I'm gonna try to stay away from that, at least for Summits, Plummets.
Yeah, my plummet is actually going to be the health of the Phillies / how they're going to be. I mean, Trey Turner came back. My summits are going to be purely Phillies based, actually. The plummets are Rojas got sent down. He's struggling. You got JT went on the IL for a month. Marsh and Turner are back, but are they really healthy completely? Maybe not. Like, they're entering a hard stretch where people are going to be like, oh, are they really as good? They were just beating up on bad teams. Nah, I mean, they're not playing at full strength. Like, as long as they're good in October, that's all that matters, right? So,
well, what I'll say is this is the benefit of not trolling early on in the year. You get such a big lead on the rest of the National League that, injury bug happens middle of the summer. It happens. This is where Schwarber starts to heat up, where he starts to take over. Alec Boehm has obviously he's been exceptional as of late. He went 8 for 13 in the Orioles series. If he could just unhook the trailer, my God, is he slow? And then
he's pretty slow.
Johan Rojas had like a sliver of a decent hitting stretch, and then kind of got back to normal.
They sent him down to AAA. They said goodbye.
Yeah, I know.
Learn how to hit again.
That says all you need to know about his batting performance, because I mean he's such a tremendous defender, but like really if you are like an automatic out in the lineup,
you gotta go.
It's a detriment. It's like if you can't play, you can put up all the points you want, but if you can't play defense, then yeah. sorry. I'm sorry. Go with the Summit. Sorry.
Oh well, the Summit is pretty clear. Summit is Kyle Schwarber. Like I said, I'm sticking with the Phillies. This dude is hitting 250. He batted like 205 last year. He's hitting 250 right now. He's hitting a few less home runs than he did last year. But batting 250 for him is like Jason Tatum shooting 47% three.
All right. It's like Luka shooting 80% from the line.
It's like LeBron doing that too.
50% from the line. 50%. Boy was at 47% through 4 games. That's
he shoot worse than Shaq from the line.
It's disgusting.
It's like Peyton Pritchard shooting 150% from 40-foot threes.
Oh, but he does.
Which is true. but he does. They said he's the first NBA special teams player. I will say about Kyle Schwarber, I feel like it's around this time every single year.
About
Kyle Schwarber.
In
the first year of our podcast, it was just me and Danny. The Red Sox and the Phillies got hot at like the same time in June, and the episode was called Phils in June because they were just that hot, and Kyle Schwarber is doing amazing. That was before Danny officially rebranded until a full-time Phillies fan. But
no, I'm still 80-20. I'm still go Sox. Fuck the Yankees.
So you're 80% Sox or 20% Sox?
I'm 20% Sox. I still fuck with them.
Imagine if both of your teams were good at the same time.
That's what a dilemma is. The Red Sox are the definition of mid. They've had the same record through the same amount of games the last 2 years. They've been like 35-35. It's so funny.
Well, look, in Boston sports, someone's got to be mid. Like the Patriots are rebuilding, so that's fine. And then the Celtics obviously just won the NBA championship. And then the Bruins are like a good team. So someone's got to be mid. Someone's got to be painfully mid with no sense of direction. So they're taking they're taking the fall. They're taking the fall so they can avoid the city drought. Yeah, we can go to Chris for his Summit and Plummet. Yeah.
What do I want to start with? Oh, Plummet. I'm going to start with a plummet, and the plummet being, I ordered a Kyrie shirt, and Kyrie we trust with the left hand shot over the Clippers, like that amazing shot. It didn't get here in time. It got here today, day after, so I couldn't even wear it. So that is my summit. I mean, that's my plummet because I was just hyped to have it just because it's a cool shirt. I didn't think they were going to win forever. I wanted that shirt really bad. Now I don't want it as much anymore because I wanted to wear it during the game. But whatever, that's my plummet. Summit, I do have a summit, and I'm gonna stay away from basketball too. Well, stay away from the Lakers. But I will say that my summit is that Rob Dillingham is sliding in the draft lottery. Now, people may say,
I saw that.
Why would that be good? I think that's a great thing for Rob. I told you, no, you won't do that. Him and Tyrese Maxey in the backcourt, they'll give up 200 points. But I will say this.
200. I'm thinking 300.
I will say this. Rob Dillingham sliding to a good team is better for him, just as what he needs as a player. Because I knew he wasn't 6'3". Combine came out, he's 6 foot and a quarter with no shoes, and he's only 170. So he's gonna need time to bulk up and not even get like super swole, but like just to get adjusted to NBA basketball, how it works. And I think sliding to a team in that late lottery, a little bit past that, is the best opportunity for you. Because if you go 1 through 10, they're probably gonna look for you to produce damn near like immediately. So I think it's just better for him because he's one of my favorite players in the draft. I think he can be boom or bust, like really, close on that side. But I like him sliding because I think he can go to a better team and hopefully have a better career. So that's my summit.
Kind of like Maxey's situation. He's still not strong defensively, but his 3-point shots come a long way. He doesn't ask to be Joel Embiid's number 2 right out the gate. So
I mean, we're gonna talk more about this in the next couple of weeks, but the person who really is rising in this NBA draft is Donovan Clingan. Clingan is rumored to be possibly going in the top 5.
There's talks that the Hawks want him, so they might pull a Danny Ainge and trade back. He's like, oh, if we're gonna grab him anyway, let's get some assets while we're at it, type of thing. He's absolutely winning, and
I'll tell you one thing. The Sixers hold the 16th pick. They might be able to slide back into that late lottery and make a play with some of these players if people start falling.
Absolutely. I could see them doing that. Definitely have to build around, they're probably going to bring in Paul George, Maxey extension. What role players are we bringing back? And then see what do we really need.
I'll tell you one thing. If they really do get Ron Holland is the name to watch. If they can get Ron Holland.
I don't think he falls past 10 in real life. People have been saying he's going to fall. I don't think he falls past 10. But if he does,
I agree with you. I think they could trade up to 10. If they can trade up to 10 and Holland's still on the board, I would
say the most mind-blowing thing to me is not Holland, but a guy who doesn't seem to be consensusly a top 10 pick that like 100 just to me, like maybe I'm like too ball don't stop eye watching here. Isaiah Collier is one of the 10 best players in the draft. I feel like is that me? Oh, like am I doing too much eye test watching or like because his back half of the season at USC, it's about as any good as any guard in the nation.
It's just
quite honest. Where does Edey slide in at?
Out the draft,
wherever the Miami Heat is.
Collier, I think Collier is one of the best 10 players in the draft for sure. I just think his game is going to translate better to NBA basketball than what college is, and I think it's going to be a couple players in this draft like that. But I think as far as talent and upside, I'd say Collier is probably in the really in the top 7 for real. He really just turned 19. He's not even that like older or nothing like that. So he
reminds me a lot of Scoop, but he is a serious outside
strong
presence.
As hell too. Yeah.
Yes, strong shit.
Strong as hell.
Currently, they got Dillingham going to the Knicks.
Mock drafts are fake. Mock drafts are fake. They had Alexander Sarr before the Hawks got the first round pick. They had him going 6. I seen one with them going 1. I seen one going 12. we our mock drafts are better than this unless it's Tim Legler's. He's usually right. Other than that,
All right, Chris,
Legler's nice.
I'm
nice.
asking you one thing. Where does Buzelis go?
Crazy. You know what's crazy? Him and Holland were 1 and 2 consensus. Like when the year started.
Yeah, they were, dude. Not even when the year started. I remember for a couple years out.
And,
I'd be playing 2K. I'd be playing 2K, and these were the number 1 and number 2 players.
I think Buzelis falls to like that 14 to 20 range, or he can go to the Pistons. I can see the Pistons taking because the Pistons could use another wing. I think Asur's more of a 2 guard for them, and I think Ivy's gonna be the odd man out. So I think they try to get another wing. So I think if he doesn't go to the Pistons there, I think he falls out the lottery.
Wait, you think Ivy's getting traded?
Well, I think he's just the odd man out because you have Cade, you have Asur, and then they're looking for a swing. I think they look at Asur more as a 2. I thought he was a 3, but I like Ivy a lot. I think he's really good, but I think he would be the odd man.
I think Asar's a really good small ball 3. Like he could play that role for sure. Kind of like a Jaylen Brown plays a small ball 3.
Yeah, I think the Pistons are too far away from being competing. I think they need to take best player available.
No, until they throw his bag at Tobias Harris and he back to 25 a game.
25 and winning.
I can't wait for Tobias Harris to have like he's gonna side to the Pistons for a bag. He's gonna have like a 45-point game, and it's gonna be like, Embiid doesn't make his teammates better. He was holding Tobias back.
I'll be the first one tweeting it.
I'll be there.
I can't wait.
I'll be there.
I hate Tobias Harris.
Tony's gonna be the one writing it.
Yes, actually, I'm gonna be that guy. So I guess I have to give a Summit Plummet. Here's my Summit. It has to do with the Celtics, but not really the Celtics. I'm pretty sure Chris is probably we're all in the loop on this one, but I'm pretty sure Chris and his girl love the tea about this one. But Ella May seems to be pregnant with Jason Tatum's child. So
that's my Finals MVP right there,
bro. Don't ever bring up some true shooting. I don't care.
Okay,
the man's shooting 100% from the field. So that's dope. I don't know the details on it. I really hope it's a girl, so he can be a girl dad. Dudes can have a little sister. He gets to know the feeling. So yeah, shout out to them. Congratulations, of course. They're the definition of a not secret, but a private relationship. Because he never made it a secret. It's like, hey, if you find out, you find out. But it's not hiding her from the world. Y'all know who she is. And then Plummet. Hard to have one at this moment, but Olympic basketball is still too far away. I mean, we're gonna have plenty of W action, but I guess the thing with being a Liberty fan is that me just being a new fan, I kind of want to go through the grind a little bit, but we're just beating everybody, so it's turning games off at the fourth quarter and stuff. So, but
me personally, I'm just a fan of the WNBA for now until Philadelphia gets the Bills.
That's fair. Giovanni was thinking about doing that. He was like, you know what? I'm going to pick a team. He picks Chicago Sky. He's a big fan of Angel Reese because he loves LSU. So he's been familiar with her. That's a great team. They're a young team rebuilding.
Only person that I like from LSU is Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens.
GOAT. That's
dude.
That boy.
Yo, Chris, he might be one of the best to ever do it when it's all
said.
I
ain't gonna lie. I watched him on Twitter. He threw some pitch. The shit was going straight, then left, then the bottom fell out. I was like, what the how are you supposed to hit that?
He's nasty.
I would have swung 3 times.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I'm saying. What?
Yeah,
dude,
it's pretty nasty.
Do you know the I don't think the Pirates have lost a game that he's thrown into the 6th inning. He's either 4-0. He's allowed one game where he's allowed 4 runs, but the rest of the games he's allowed 1 or 2.
He's a rookie, right? Am I tripping? Is he a rookie?
He's a rookie. Oh, he literally graduated out of LSU last year.
Oh wow! I thought so.
And he has to do Air Force service because he went to Air Force before LSU.
Oh wow! Damn. That's interesting.
Well, it's great baseball talk. Great, a bunch of nonsense talk. But hey, this is what we're here for today. We're talking
Tony,
about the NBA.
The stage is yours. We're gonna let you take it for the next 5 minutes because you have a lot to talk about.
What? But I do. But at the same time, I don't even know what to say. This was my prediction. Beginning of the season, going into the playoffs. but to see it like actually happen, it's so crazy. I'm trying to like take the fandom out of it so I can just talk about the games. But when Peyton Pritchard's hitting 50-footers, I mean, like, dude, it's hard. It's hard not to cheese about it. But here's what I'll say. Talking about game
How do you,
4, like I want to talk about game 4, but game 4 it's like none of y'all don't watch anime, but this thing called filler where they input a episode that's not really in the timeline just to take up time. That's what game 4 was. It wasn't real. That game was like actually a real life filler in the NBA finals. And then game 5, I mean, game 5, I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown started together like 1 for 8, 1 for 9, something like that. But Drew Holiday kept them afloat. Al Horford was making some threes. But I think where the game really broke open was how the Jays ended the first quarter. I'm pretty sure they combined. I think they went on a 12-0 run themselves, or they had 9 of the 12 points in a 10-0 run. Jason Tatum had 9 assists, 0 turnovers in the first half. That's unbelievable. Like when you share a floor with Luka Doncic and you're the best playmaker on the floor, you're the best scorer on the floor. It that goes a long way, especially in a series where people are like, oh, well, the Mavericks have the better player. And it's like, but there are times in the series where Luka hasn't looked like the better player. In the first quarters, he's been hot. I would love to find this number, and I haven't been able to find it, but Luka's been scorching in these first quarters. He'll start 4 for 6, 5 for 7, something like that. And then he goes like 1 for 10 throughout the next 2 quarters, or whatever the case may be. So that's a team effort thing. Jaylen Brown, obviously, that's probably why he got Finals MVP. He was good offensively, 25 and 5. That's really good playmaking for him, along with guarding the best player on the other team. I'm so happy for him because certainly nobody on this panel would disrespect him. There's a lot of people who disrespected him. Of course, none of my esteemed co-hosts would ever, but I'm so happy for him. Like I remember when he got booed on draft night. He got benched in 2019. He got given the biggest contract in NBA history, and people were like, this is the dumbest contract in NBA history. He got trolled for having a hurt left wrist, and people were like, he can't go left. Man, I do believe Jason Tatum should have won the Finals MVP. I'll get to that in a second. Or I'll get to it later. Just want to give myself a break for a second, but I'm so happy for him. Like nobody deserves it more than him. Besides, like from a emotional standpoint, I guess you could say.
Yeah, one thing that I'm going to get to is we have not seen the end of the Celtics, and I think this is just the beginning of probably a 5+ year dominant run that's going to be really hard to watch as an NBA fan. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be like Cavs versus Warriors, but the Warriors are going to be
West
the Cavs,
is too good for that. Yeah, West.
That's my point. That's my point. Out west, it's going to be a variety of teams. You're going to see
it's going to be
the Mavs, Thunder. You're going to see the Nuggets. You're going to see the Timberwolves probably. Like you're going to see all those teams probably. Maybe even the Lakers. You don't know.
But the East is going to stay the same.
East likely
Hopefully
stays the same unless JB or if JP or JT get hurt in a year, they could lose. They could drop a game.
Yeah,
they could drop a series.
I would say I don't want to like crown them dynasty or anything yet.
No, but
Giannis and Dame are still on a team. They still do employ Doc Rivers, but I think Giannis is good enough to overcome that.
2 years ago, the Celtics lost. They were 2 games away from the NBA Finals. Last year, they were 1 game. If they didn't play tomfoolery ball, they were 1 game going back. If Tatum didn't roll his ankle, they would have came back from 3-1 deficit.
3-0.
3-0. Sorry, even better. And this year they won the Finals. We have to start talking about this team as a true potential dynasty.
People are going to start looking back in hindsight and be like, they've always been dominant. They had to get over the hump. But during the time, it's like, oh, you can never get the job done. You're a bad basketball team.
I know, dude.
Bad news for everyone else. The top 7 is under contract for next year. So,
what really shows you how good they are is if you remember how dominant they were in Game 6 and Game 7 against the Sixers last year. You saw what their peak could be this year. You saw that Tatum could take over down the stretch and be a top 5 player in the world. You saw that Al Horford could just be a role player and hit a couple threes. You saw the spark off the bench from Peyton Pritchard. You saw all this coming to life, but it kind of just fell apart.
Yeah,
against the Heat.
Things happen. And I think, during the regular season, I would say Kristaps Porzingis was definitely the X factor. Drew Holiday was 100% the guy to push us over the hump. Championship pedigree, a guy who knows how to slow this game down. Go ahead. You're
gonna have to accept his $40 million player option next year.
He just got an extension. So
I thought he was an option.
He just got an extension.
No?
Yeah, he got an extension earlier this year. And that's why everyone's like, you're gonna pay him what 30-something million at whatever years old. I'm like, Drew Holiday is built to age well, so I'm not really worried about that. Plus, he took like $130 million less than what he could have gotten. So
also, I saw a story today.
Porzingis is taking a pay cut.
His wife had like a benign tumor, and he took time off during to take care of her. I didn't know that.
No.
And White is one of the greatest soccer players too.
Yes. Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Drew Holiday is a known gooner, so shout out to him. Known gooner, man. He's super lucky you can't see people's likes now.
It was like
we just made
the NBA finals. What are you gonna do?
He said, "Oh my God, yo, that's crazy." But yeah, love me some Drew. Chris, what are some thoughts from Game 5?
Wait.
Series?
One last thing about Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday and who else are the only people to win 2 championships in the 2010 or 2020? KCP.
Come on, man.
Love him. Hate him.
KCP is to a much lesser extent, but like him and Drew Holiday essentially bring the same things. They're going to make some shots. They're going to play defense, and they're going to be a super, super critical guy on your championship team. Like the thing with the Nuggets is like, oh, any guy could be, your number 3 on any given night. And sometimes it could be KCP. Same thing with the Celtics. Usually it's going to be Porzingis. It could be Derek White, but sometimes it'll be Drew. And Drew was definitely the third most important player in this run. So who's swinging on over to Chris? I should make Chris sit here and say 10 nice things about Jaylen Brown, but we'll not do that because I want his honest opinion on the series. Whatever case may be, man. What's on your mind?
I will say this though, before we move forward, I have to put more respect on Drew Holiday's name because KCP is the Aaron Holiday of Drew Holidays. I know for sure KCP cannot go get me 25 points and 12 rebounds if I need him to. He can try, but he can't. And I know for sure he cannot post up the best guard on the other team and make them score and play the dunker spot. So that puts respect to my boy Drew. I'm a big Drew Holiday fan. But I will say this. It showed that I think Game 5 showed that that 2 wings is always going to be the formula, right? In this NBA today, how we're moving forward, 2 wings is going to be the formula. Or unless you have a Jokic. Other than that, you need 2 wings. And I think this proved that because we're able to attack, play make, rebound, do all this from your 2-guard spot and your small 4 spot. It makes everybody else more expendable, and it also makes them more valuable. So now, since Derek White doesn't have to do all the playmaking, or Drew Holiday doesn't, you can stick Drew Holiday in the dunker spot. You can have Derek White just be a spot up, and you can play off your 2 wings. I think it just showed the versatility of the 2 wings that they do have, and it showed that coaching does matter. Stopping runs fucking matters. Like Joe Mazzulla. And Tone talked about this a lot during the year. He didn't used to do that. And I thought it was a troll, obviously. It was obviously a troll to see what my team can do if I don't stop the bleeding. And I respect that so much because the Mavs made 2 shots. They were already up 21. Boop, timeout. I appreciate that because at the end of the day, NBA can go from a 4-0 run to a 9-0 run really quick if you let it. And I love the fact that Mizzou doesn't let him do that. Let the teams do that. Even with the veterans he has on his team, he still trusts in the whistle of timeout to really regalvanize the team. And I respect that. And I think for the Mavs, it just showed that you're not as close as you are. I know people were saying they're one piece away. No, they're way more than one piece away.
No.
They're way more than one piece away. And they were a bunch of injuries away from not even being here. But you do have to be who's in front of you, and I respect them for getting there. But you're a ball handler away, you're a wing defender away, and hopefully you're a person who can shoot threes and play defense away, and not to take one off for the other one to be able to do so. It also showed that Derrick Jones is who he is, and I love Derrick Jones. Y'all know I'm a Derrick Jones fan, but it's a reason why he's on a minimum deal, and it's a reason why teams were going to keep doing that. You cannot be as athletic as he is, and you can't even finish at the rim, or you can't make a midi. You do those things. So that's why it hurt them a lot. He had to put in Kleber. Kleber was playing with one arm, honestly. And it wasn't, he's not good with two arms in real life, but I mean, with one arm is even worse. So I think it showed the Mavs are way farther away than they are. And it also showed the flaws that Luka has that was covered up. And I think it's covered up just by how good of a player he is. Like at the end of the day, Luka's elite at offense, period. And I'm not even going to get on the defensive part of it is at being the main problem. The main problem is that he doesn't get off the ball fast enough. The same problem Anthony Edwards has. Now, in Luka's defense, you don't have as many options to get off the ball as a Tatum or Anthony Edwards has with players who can go do their own thing. But that's a problem. That's what the Mavs need to fix. And I think this showed that. Because when Tatum and Brown off the ball, I mean, everybody not going to be able to have Drew Holiday, Derek White, and KP as the other three guys. But you can still have some type of supplement of guys who can do something. Like I test watching the game, when those other players got the ball, they took two dribbles and passed it right back to them. Unless you're CTE Hardaway, you just shot it when you catch it. Other than that, they can't do anything. And Dante Exum, career resurgence, beautiful. But if he's your third ball handler, you're going to lose to good teams, period. And I think this is what that showed. And like I said, I think the Mavs are on the upward side of it, but I think they're way more than just one piece away. I think they have a lot to evaluate. So.
This finals reminded me of 2018 Cavs Warriors.
It shouldn't have.
No, it shouldn't have.
From what standpoint?
It shouldn't.
Hear him out.
From the standpoint of Luka would be LeBron.
Get the fuck out.
Kyrie. No.
Get the fuck out.
Listen.
No,
Luka's nowhere near LeBron.
Look, Danny, let's see.
Stop there.
Look, Danny, let's see. Let me see where you're going.
No, and then like Lively's probably like.
Nope.
I don't know who played center for that team. No one.
Tristan Thompson. Cavs. Tristan Thompson was elite.
Outplayed Al Horford the round before.
Good.
Talk to him.
And then I mean, what I'm getting at is that like it's really Luka, Kyrie, Lively, PJ Washington's probably gone.
And no, PJ's there. He's there. He's
dude. I shit you not. That team could this Mavs team could probably beat that Cavs team. They would beat that Cavs team.
They would.
That Cavs team is literally only relevant because you probably got, arguably, not in my opinion, but arguably the best version of LeBron James possible.
Yeah.
When people, I already saw it. When people start saying, "Well, maybe Luka should still win Finals MVP," fuck out of here. Insanity. If LeBron did not win it in 2015, no one is going to win.
38, 12, and 8, by the way.
Especially someone who's just throwing the ball away, not getting back on defense. When they do get back on defense, they're getting their ass cooked. That's the thing. People love to bring up the field goal percentage thing with Luka or Tatum shooting this when guarded by Luka, so he's really locking him up. Tatum's locking himself up. He's doing that himself with his nutty shot selection, but the blow by rate is what I'm really worried about. It's kind of like pressures to sacks in the NFL. It's like sacks are like the stat, but I'm personally more worried about what's his pressure and double team rate. Actually, I like to play football on an Excel spreadsheet, so not basketball though. It's all I test over here, baby.
Yeah, but that's why I thought that though. It's just I don't know. I think and like I said, I have love for the run. I don't think it's a Atlanta Hawks East Conference Final run at all. I don't think it's
it's much better than that. It's much better.
Same idea though. They're closer than the Hawks were, but you get the gist.
All the way that people think, and that's my thing. I think. And like I said, I have a friend who's a big Mavs fan. I see a lot of Mavs Twitter just being in Dallas, and they think like, when Omax if you're waiting on Omax Prosper to be the one to carry you over the top, and first of all, wing and forward isn't even your biggest problem. The problem is Luka Doncic is a point guard. He's the size of a small forward. So any person you put out there like Josh Green, Dante Exum, they're already out of place and guarding out of place because Luka's guarding power forwards most of the time. So you have to get switchable defenders. They need a Kelly Oubre. They need a guy who can go. You have to take off a guy that can shoot threes for a guy who can play defense. You have to have both. And I think this it proves that. And like I said, I think this is year one of a couple things there. You know, a 3 to 4 year run that they may have of being able to contend at a high level. But if they want to continue that, they have to add pieces that can do more than just one thing, because it's showing you can't just have two creators and hope they can carry you through 30 playoff games. It's just a lot to ask, no matter what part of the career they're in, especially from this space. So I think it just showed that they have a lot to work on, and just showed that the team was supposed to win championship one, in the sense of the Celtics were dominant all year. I wanted to hate on it because I'm not necessarily a Celtics fan. I wanted to hate just because I wanted to. But if you look at everything points to them winning the championship. So at the end of the day, this is one of those years in the NBA where the best team won championship. Injuries are not aside. This is what happened. So
absolutely, yeah. And people,
here's
the thing.
Okay, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Healthy Heat, Celtics in 5 to 6.
4.
5. 4. Jimmy might make it easier.
Yeah. Healthy Cavs.
5.
The Cavs were arguably healthy. Celtics
5.
I think
Donovan Mitchell. It was 2-1. It was 2-1 before Mitchell went down.
I think Allen being out hurt more than
I will argue. I agree. The only thing that I will argue is that the Bucks and the Knicks not playing the Celtics didn't play the best team, which doesn't even fucking make sense, because the best team is whoever makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. So here's the
Bucks got hurt.
Here's the thing I want to say. So I agree. Knicks are a super gritty, tough team. But the Celtics showed us in these playoffs, hey, not only are we more talented than you, not only can we outspark you, outshoot you, out firepower you, but we're also going to do the little things better than you. And when the best players in the world are doing the little things right, that's what puts you in a different territory. What were you about to say?
All right. Is your favorite moment from the
What was Chris about to say?
Bro,
Chris, what are you saying?
That is what blows me about this Mavs team. How are you on the court with 2 superstars and 3 supposed to be dirty work players, and you're getting out dirty worked? That made no sense. Why is Gafford on the court then? Why is Derrick Jones on the court? If they're not going to out hustle the stars for the Celtics, why are you on the court? And that was a big part of my problem. At that point, that's why Exum got minutes. That's why Hardaway kept getting random minutes, because it's no point in taking these other people off the court because they're not doing anything. And I think that's what happened. Like, the Celtics were more hungry than a team that should have been hungrier than the Celtics, in my opinion. Celtics been to the finals a couple of times. They've been these long runs. How are you getting out hustled?
You're letting a 38 Al Horford beat you to the floor for a ball. Sam Hauser's beating you on the O boards.
I don't understand it. Another
thing. This is super minuscule. End of the first quarter, Dante Exum holds onto the ball for the buzzer. Doesn't shoot it. End of the first half, Peyton Pritchard lives for this moment. I'm going to chuck this thing no matter where I'm at. And look, even if he misses, that is all so mindset. It's not right. Look, if you don't chuck him up in the regular season because you're worried about your field goal percentage, hey, I get you. There's 82 games, whatever. It's the finals, and you are going to get your ass sent home. Put up the shot. Yeah. I don't care if it's a 1% chance that it goes in. Put up the fucking shot. Give it to Luka so he can put up the shot. Something. Luka was asking for it off the board, but PJ couldn't see him. Danny, what were you going to say?
Oh, I think my favorite Derek White Celtics, or any Celtics moment out of the last 3 years of runs, was the Derek White at the buzzer versus the Heat.
If we just won that next game, dude, that thing goes into history. That was such a great play.
I think, dude, that might have been, dude, when was it Tatum or Brown that took the elbow J?
No, that was a Marcus Smart 3-point fadeaway, because Miami did. Miami did an incredible job denying those two the ball. Like, I can't even lie. I remember just get the ball in and let him shoot.
Smart took the shot, and you were like, what are you doing?
Yeah, bro, he's a fucking nut. But the thing, it's like the Heat and the Celtics had a substantial lead in that fourth quarter. They blew it, but the Heat, it's like, bro, they guarded all the way except the last 0.5 seconds. Here's the thing, though. Either way, it doesn't matter which way the ball landed. Derek White covered the left side. Tatum was going at it straight up. So either of them could have got a tip in. But yeah, Derek White, again, hustling to the floor, cost him a damn tooth. That's why they're champions.
Apparently both teeth, because the other one's loose. So you're going to have to get that one reversed. I just seen that. I literally just seen it.
And Boston's used to these dental appointments. Isaiah
Ooh,
Thomas got
Isaiah
his front
Thomas.
tooth knocked out. Jaylen Brown got a tooth chip before. So
Hey, Tone, before you even finish, let me tell you one thing I just seen. The Celtics won more games in the playoffs than the Pistons won all season.
the Pistons had us on the ropes. They was up 66-47 at halftime on a league pass game, and the timeline was treating it like the NBA Finals.
Jason Tatum said, "League pass game. Let me turn my cape on. You know I do it."
Oh yeah, come on, man. You know what he does on Monday night on League Pass?
Oh, against
He's going for that
Charlotte.
4-5. Yes, yes. I'm pretty sure he's averaging like 47 points per game against Charlotte in like
Good.
the last 2 years.
They
It's
deserve it.
ridiculous.
They deserve it. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
Every
got
ounce.
Melo running over kids' feet and shit. But,
That's my goat, man.
I was
That's
back
my
to
goat.
back to the point about the Celtics. It's like when a team like that is more talented than you, and then they can get dirty. That's the point where like I don't see the Knicks beating them. I'm not saying it's impossible. I think they had the best chance, but I don't see them beating them. And the Bucks, you have a chance because you have Dame and Giannis. But like outside of that, I want to give the Bucks credit. They smoked Boston twice this year. Like absolutely smoked them. Those were also their absolute 2 best shooting performances ever. So I take it with a grain of salt. It was regular season. But yeah, I mean next year, you're bringing back all your assets. You should be at first. Here's what I want to know: if Joe Mazzulla doesn't troll, and he takes every game seriously, at least from a how you treat run standpoint, can this team win more than 64 games? Can they? I don't want to say get 71. Could they flirt with 70 wins? Or are we talking like can this team win 65 plus
15.
games?
I can see 6, 7, and 15 if they stay healthy and they actually play series against
Because
like
the
everybody.
08 team was 66-16, and I thought they were on that type of trajectory. I could see that for them next year. I just need Skip Bayless to tweet out, if they don't get injured, Boston goes 74-8. I'm like, yes, we need that, Skip. We need that. Because he called the 73-9 Warriors, which probably the greatest
Oh shit.
preseason prediction of all time.
He said they would go
Yep,
73-9.
he said barring injuries, the Golden State Warriors are going 73-9. That's probably the greatest prediction of all time. Ironically from like the worst dude ever, but
yeah, that's goated. That is goated. I ain't gonna lie. I want to hate it, but I can't. That's goated. That is goated.
yeah,
Damn, that's wild.
it's a pretty good call. But yeah, this is
Tatum heard you saying Jason's name.
Yeah, I would say let's yeah, he heard. Well,
He said
that's
I'm up.
perfect because I wanted to transition to talking about Jason Tatum, who didn't get a Finals MVP, but was the best player for the Celtics. Only the 5th player ever or 6th player ever to lead his team in points, boards, assists in a playoff run, and then cap off the championship. Only other players to do it: Hakeem, Duncan, Bron 4 times, and Nikola Jokic.
Bron 4 times is hilarious.
Yeah, bro. Jason Tatum was phenomenal on the boards all series, securing one and done possessions for the Dallas Mavericks. Did a great job off ball defense. On ball defense, he struggled a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but when you are a 6'8" forward and they trust you guarding bigs in pick and roll situation and even post up situations, that speaks to the type of player that your coach and your team believes you are. Jaylen Brown wins this MVP because Tatum is the MVP. He wins it because the attention is so much on Tatum that you are going to have to guard Jaylen Brown one-on-one. There's no one in this association who can guard him one-on-one. One of the best isolation scorers, or just one of the best scorers in general in our league. I can't be more proud of them, especially those two. Like, I've watched them grow up. When they first came to my team, they're 19, 20 years old. In Tatum's rookie year, Brown's second year, like, all right, y'all are going to be huge contributors to a potentially contending team. The guy at that position, the starting guy, well, Brown was at shooting guard and Tatum was a power forward, but Hayward goes down immediately. They have to step up. They had to become older than what they were then. And then 2 years later, when Kyrie leaves, it's like, oh, he wasn't supposed to pass the baton off for like another 2-3 years. Now they got to take over at 21 and 22 years old. They immediately get back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Do they lose to the Heat when they probably shouldn't have? Yeah. But just to see them finally get this done, like it feels almost like it's like, oh, finally they won. It's like 26 and 27-year-old won a championship. That sounds like the right time. But I can't speak to how much Jason Tatum has impressed me in these finals. I mean, look, when the shot's not falling, it used to just be with him the shot's not falling, and that's just it. Like, yeah, you'd get some defense, but he would be a non-factor on offense. Now he's the best playmaker on the team. He's the best scorer on the team as well. When he got downhill, he averaged 19 drives per game in these finals. He was absolutely bought into his role of collapsing the defense. And look, sometimes the layups weren't falling, the shots weren't falling, but any other time, he was dishing out, kicking to his teammates, and they were making shots. They did a tremendous job.
That jelly fan package, go around him, jelly fan.
Yeah, bro, you need to link up with Zion, bro. Y'all straight jam fam. You need to be jam fam, not jelly fam. Real ones remember,
dude.
Real ones remember Cam fam. I was Cam fam, but I was Cam fam. I remember I watched the interview where he made that up on the spot. But with Tatum, I was gonna say something. I forget what I was talking about. There's not really much more you can say. This dude's a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. 5-time All-Star, 3-time first-team All-NBA, 4-time All-NBA. Gonna have a second gold medal by the time the summer's over. We're an NBA champion. We're in plenty where the most points in the playoffs by a 26-year-old or under player, absolutely ridiculous. Past Kobe in less games. That always seems to be the thing with him with playoff numbers. It's like, oh, well, he's always had a good team. Well, who are the guys on these lists? Let's really look. LeBron, who hasn't always had a good team. He's LeBron. His first ever playoff game, he had like 42 points, dude. Stop comparing him to other all-time greats. He's weird, okay? Kobe walked onto a team with Shaq. A really good Lakers team. He walked onto a really good Lakers team. He's gonna have a lot of playoff games. So that's why he's up there. Tony Parker walked onto a phenomenal Spurs team. No, at the end of the day, you still have to put the ball in the basket. You still have to rack up your assist and rebounds. You still have to do that. So when you see Tatum on list with Kobe, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Hakeem Olajuwon, Nikola Jokic, it's not, there's no secret sauce. There's no, he has a super team. At the end of the day, he still has to go out there and do it because there's a lot of guys who had stacked teams. Chauncey Billups is widely regarded, him or Ben Wallace, were widely regarded as best team on that 04 Pistons team. That's a great team. You don't see them putting up stats like that. Shout out Chauncey Billups. He's a phenomenal player. But if y'all are treating it as if that is Tatum, no, Tatum is the 1A on a championship team, one of the best teams of all time. I don't know if like top 5, maybe top 10, but definitely like top 15. It's just like, it's stop like the hate. I'm not saying, don't stop hating a player. Look, if you don't like him, you don't like him, but stop overthinking it. This kid is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
At 19 years old.
At 19 years old, facts. One of the best players in the world already. A top 4, top 5 player in the world. Gonna be the best player on a USA team that features Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Bam Adebayo, Joel Embiid. And people want to say he's not going to be the best player. I advise you now, he's going to put up a mellow 2012 like performance in these Olympics. Like that's how it's going to be. I couldn't be more proud of my boy. I'm going to be honest, man. From day one, from the Duke days, like I'm like this kid is going to be great, and he exceeded my expectations. I officially want to trademark the nickname Wing Duncan. He's the Tim Duncan of Carmelo Anthony's. He's a guy who he's got Carmelo Anthony's play style, the 3-level scoring, but he's got the no ego like Tim Duncan. So we're officially trademarking Wing Duncan for Jason Tatum, but we're spelling Duncan like Dunkin' Donuts because that's like the Boston thing. Yeah. That's my tangent on my boys, man. Shout out to them. They're NBA champions. So is Luke Cornett, by the way. We should do it. And Jordan Walsh. Jordan Walsh has more rings than Joel Embiid. Luke Cornett has more rings than Joel Embiid. Jaden Springer. Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser.
Niketa.
Peyton Pritchard has played more finals minutes and scored more finals points than Carmelo Anthony, by the way. And Tracy McGrady. Just want to let y'all know that. That's all.
So
just wanted to drop that in there. That's all.
A little unrelated to what we're talking about last. Oh, it's kind of related. I sent these guys a playlist of just like what I'm feeling right now. Last night, I don't smoke. I've never gotten high in my life. I felt high. That is what Nirvana must feel like. That is what euphoric must feel like, dude. I couldn't stop smiling for 2 hours. My cheekbones hurt, but I was stuck in that position. I went to order Wawa and they said I was up too late. They was like, you can't deliver. I was like, well, we're going to pick up this chicken strip sandwich. Danny knows that's the best in the game right there. But but I made a playlist. I sent it to y'all. I sent it to Darren as well, and he was like, "What does BITW mean?" I'm like, "That's best in the world. That's the best in the world pack." Drake dropped it 2 years ago, for the Raptors, but I had to drop mine. Like the "Over My Dead Body" beat just goes perfectly with this moment. "Now or Never" by Kendrick Lamar, "March Madness" by Future, "Devil in a New Dress" by Kanye West is like the perfect one, but I don't know. Just want to get that off. I have so many. My storage is yelling at me for how many pictures I've screenshotted in the last 24 hours.
Well, guess what? In approximately 5 months, you'll get to experience again when the Philadelphia Phillies hoist up World Series number 3.
Yes. Me and Danny have found the keys. So in 2008, the Phillies and the Celtics both won the World Series. In 2022, they both lost the World Series. In 2023, they both lost their conference finals in 7 games to the grittier power of friendship team. 2024, the Phillies will put
after they had a lead,
just like Boston did.
Oh,
and after we trade for Juan Soto, like Kristaps Porzingis. Yep, trust.
The craziest part is the Phillies and the Celtics have both forever have always messed around at the beginning of the season. And this season, the Celtics decided to not mess around with their meat.
They started the season by mewing.
And now
they started a 64-game mew streak. Yes, that's literally what the whole team was on this entire year. Just no long talk. But yeah, man. I don't know. Again, we talked about the Mavericks, how it's kind of like you're not as close as you think. I do want to give Luka credit. I mean, offensively, he's all you got, and he did a damn good job. Kyrie Irving, I mean, we're CEOs of the Kyrie fan club. Brother, you ever do that shit again, you're not better than Marcus Smart all time. Don't ever do that shit again. I'm not gonna trash him for it, but don't do it again. That was bad. That was bad. But yeah, I was like, let's take these last couple. Let's take a couple minutes before we wrap up the show. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Lakers. It's been 3 weeks coming. We haven't talked about it. It seems like JJ Redick is back in the head for the job. Chris, if JJ Redick gets this job, pros and cons of it. Pretty simple.
Immediately, his hands are raised out of his pocket, so I know that's a dub. Outside of that,
I would say he's a very active talker, by the way. He uses his hands when he talks.
Hands are out. So I know it's going to be hand signals up there. Plays going to be getting called. I'm cool with that. But all jokes aside, though, I think the pros is that he's just a very a good basketball mind is, I think, selling is short. He's a progressive basketball mind. So I think he sees where the NBA is going or where it could go or some things that works, and he can help the Lakers in that realm. I think this is more of a hire past LeBron's time there. I think this is more, if he is, the guy they hire, it's going to be more of a to get AD's era out the way, as he's 30 now, he's my age as well, so he's gonna be on the way out soon enough. So I think it's more of a futuristic hire. So I think the pro is that he's a forward thinking guy, obviously from the podcast and just from how he plays. So I think he's gonna be not get swept up or get left off of how the NBA moves forward, which I think is a positive. The cons is coaching the fucking Lakers, and if you don't win, it's your fault. If you do win, it's because you already have good players. And I just think that's an unfair situation for a coach, for a first-year head coach, first-time coaching coach, to get handed that job. I think of it as Steve Nash getting handed a Brooklyn job times 10, as far as worse, because you don't have that talent. You don't have those 3 guys that he had. Well, they got Harden later, but you don't have those guys. So I think at that point, the con is just, I don't think he's going to get a fair shot. like beginning, especially while LeBron's there, he's going to be expected to compete for a championship, and this team just isn't there yet right now. So I think the cons, they just won't get a fair shot. And that's the worst part of it, because I think he's going to be a good coach regardless if it's with the Lakers or another team, but I think he won't get a fair shot.
Yeah, I could see that. I think the weirdest thing about their JJ Redick potential hire is like a source said he has Pat Riley potential. I'm like, how does a coach have potential? Like I've never heard a coach get gauged by potential, which is weird. JJ is a very intense guy, clearly knows the game, just like you said. And it's I could see it as a either for LeBron or after LeBron hired. This is a young head coach. He's a vet. He knows how to win. Can teach young players the game. But if it's with LeBron, JJ, it's just, I don't want to say LeBron's a coach killer because he's not. But he walked all over him. JJ, don't let that happen. And not in the way like LeBron had to walk over him. Maybe that's a bad example, but like coexist with him. Y'all talk basketball every week on a podcast. This was an open interview. No one's stupid. Just find something that works for both of y'all. But don't get too flip floppy. JJ's gonna find something that works. Danny, what are your thoughts on potential JJ Redick hire? Actually, let me ask you. What do you think about Dan Hurley? Oh, you can give me potential JJ Redick. Excuse me. Higher thoughts. I also want to hear your opinion on Dan Hurley with the biggest pump fake of all time, just to motivate his boys at UConn.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I really, really love me some JJ Redick as a player. Coming off that screen, money, automatic.
Philly legend in the shortest amount of time. Like he was at his best at like 35 years old in Philly. It's ridiculous. Yeah,
dude. Everyone loved him too. Like. I don't know what it was in Philly, but he was.
I'm telling you, brother. He did not shoot like 40% from three in his career. I promise you, he shot like 60%, especially off that dribble handoff.
He's what people thought Patrick Beverley was in Philly.
Oh, like dog wise. Okay. Yeah.
If everyone was like, "Oh, Pat Bev, we're gonna miss him when he's in Philly." Pat Bev is your favorite player.
Will we?
And I was like, "Are you kidding me, dog?"
Yeah, JJ, I hope he gets the job. But as long as at least stick with him, regardless of what happens. Dan Hurley, you're hilarious. He called his players dumb, but like in a nice way. He's going for the three-peat. Why not? Just like Mahomes, he's going for the three-peat. But we got anything else to say really about the Lakers hire? Anything about the finals? Tatum just posted, the Celtics media team put together like some receipts by quote experts picking the Mavericks. Tatum posted that on his Instagram story. It was like experts with laughing emojis. Yeah. Underdog Celtics came
If I'm
through.
Tatum, I'm taking a victory lap on everybody. Nobody can tell me anything. And I would keep doing nobody can do anything about it.
Dude, what are they going to say now? And people are going to take it literally. It's like, oh, well, you didn't win finals MVP. Dude, we don't care. We do not care. What are they going to say now, man? Outside of an MVP, my boy's completed ball. I don't care. And MVP is an individual thing. He's going to need like KP or something to leave to get that back. They're never going to give it to him. So it is what it is.
Unfortunately, next year, well, no, not unfortunately. Fortunately, next year, when games close out for the Celtics in his fourth quarter and his 20-point lead and 6 minutes left, it will be J.D. Davison and Peyton Pritchard in that backcourt with Jordan Washington in small forward and Neemias Queta at center. And who's going to be at the four? Sam Hauser can play some small ball for 6 minutes. That's going to feed families right there. That will make me happy to see. I would love that.
Look, man, I've been praying on the J.D. Davison minutes for a minute. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Imagine this. Imagine Peyton Pritchard pull up jump shot. Oh, wait, it's an alley-oop to J.D. Davison.
Yeah, we need that. We need that.
Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Russell Westbrook small ball 5 type shit.
That's all I'm saying. And then if J.D. Davison missed the dunk, don't worry. It's flying off the rim. Jordan Walsh flying in the tip dunk it. Oh, wait.
I need Jordan Walsh to like dead ass play next year. I dead ass need Jordan Walsh to play next year.
He's an athlete, bro. You're gonna love him. When
I
he
want
gets
him.
more
I want
than
him to share minutes with Tatum and Brown. Like I want him to, maybe play some small ball
Yeah,
or
yeah.
maybe
It's
play
coming.
3. Tatum can play 4, just from a physicality standpoint.
It's coming.
Because like that defense just getting wasted away, man. I gotta see it. I gotta see the improved 3 ball. I gotta see it, man.
It's coming.
Can we
It's
say
coming.
bye? Can we say bye to Al Horford? Bye bye.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
he's coming. No, he's coming back.
Oh, he said he's coming
Is
back.
he?
Yeah. They asked him, was like, you want to win another next year? He'll be like, yeah, that'd be sweet. The owner, Wick, he already said Al's going to be back next year. He's going to play through this contract.
Mm.
So let's get it, man. That's Al. 24 hours ago, you were ringless. 365 days from now, you'll be a 2-time champ. First person from the Dominican Republic to win an NBA champion or NBA championship. Kristaps Porzingis, first Latvian NBA champion.
Luka Doncic, first Slovenian next year.
First Slovenian to lose in the finals.
Al Horford, you now are better than Joel Embiid.
Tatum, best player in America. Best American player. And arguably the best North American player.
Did you forget?
Him and Shea can fight over that.
Did you forget Peyton Pritchard was born in Oregon?
Come on, man. Pronouns are USA, baby. Mike Breen, that was an all-time call, man. He was like, he said, here comes Pritchard. He loves these. Hoist it up at the buzzer. Bang!
Hey, I was telling my girl, right? I'm like, hey, it's a couple things Mike Breen can say that really ruin your day. Bang is the one everybody knows, but I'm gonna tell you,
if you're facing that,
the worst,
way off on your team.
That's the second worst. That's the second worst. You know which one is the worst when it's not a 3? And he's like,
what?
Curry puts it in. That makes my heart
puts it in.
break.
Puts it in. Dude, puts it in is the worst.
You know what's another one? You know what's another good one? It'll be like, this guy called a lot of Iowa games. He was like, Clark puts up the 3. You bet.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one
too. And it's one.
You
it's
bet.
One here.
Bang. Puts it in. And then Kevin Harlan's good. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie. The best thing about going to Mavs game is the announcer, bro. He's hilarious for a simple fact. Whenever Luka does anything, it's like he's so happy that he's doing it that he's like he chuckles through the call. So like he'll be like, Luka make a 3. He'll be like, Luka for 3. That shit is so cool, bro. It's so funny, bro. It's so funny. Shout out to the Mavs announcer. He's great.
Is there anything we want to say before we get on out of here?
Nah, it's a great episode.
Yep,
it's crazy, man.
Y'all can't talk to me all summer, man.
Draft coming up soon. NFL coming soon. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, LeVictor Jack Van Yama took a picture today. That made my day.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
Good job for the Celtics getting a title before Victor Wembanyama starts running this league for the next decade and a half.
Everybody got about 3 years to discuss who the best player is. Then that's all going to rest.
Then it's over. Tatum, just get it one of these years, baby. Just get it one of these years. I'll be good. Again, I want to remind y'all, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to us on audio platforms, please leave a like, 5-star review from AP New Freezer, Culture by Amigos, DC Comics. The Boston Celtics are your 2024 NBA champions. Never forget it. Jason Tatum is the best player in the world, and we'll catch you guys next week.